Good evening. Today's song challenge theme is songs best sung around a campfire. And so since we tell scary stories around a campfire, this is a good one. And it's also audience participation. We're going to do it a little differently this time. As an audience, you need to say, when I say the word head, you say, what? When I say the word tucked, you say, where? So let's try that. Head, what? Tucked, where? I think you got it. In the Tower of London, large as life, the ghost of Anne Boleyn walks, they declare. For Anne Boleyn was once King Henry's wife, until he had the headsman bob her hair. Oh yes, he done her wrong long years ago, and back she comes each night to tell him so. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. Well, when she finds King Henry, she means giving him what for? Gadzooks, she's gonna tell him off for the spilling of her gore. Just in case the headsman wants to give her an encore, she keeps her head tucked underneath her arm. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. Sometimes gay old King Henry throws a spread for all his pals and gals, a ghastly crew. The headsman carves the joint and cuts the bread, till Anne Boleyn walks in to clear the dew. She holds her head up with a wild war whoop, and Henry cries, egads, don't you drop it in the soup. She walks the endless corridors, for miles and miles she goes. She often catches cold, poor dear, poor drafty when it blows. And it is so very awkward for the queen to blow her nose. With her head tucked underneath her arm, with her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. One night she catches Henry when he's in the canteen bar. He says, are you Mike Pence, Donald Trump, or William Barr? Well, how do you expect me to know just who the hell you are? With your head tucked underneath your arm, with her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. The sentry thinks that it's a football that she's carrying in, and when they've had a few, they say, will Buffalo finally win? They think that it's Josh Allen instead of poor old Anne Boleyn. With her head tucked underneath her arm, with her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. Stay safe out there. Stay 6 feet apart and wash your hands.